Upgrades.
Hey, it's Jorge with TeamJVS giving you a quick exclusive review of the Apple TV movie, The Instigators. So this movie basically follows two robbers who must go on the run with the help of one of their therapists after a theft doesn't go as planned. This movie, first and foremost, was a mix-up for me. Maybe that's going to be the best way I can put this. This movie has obviously an all-star cast. You have Matt Damon, Casey Affleck, Jack Harlow's in it for a little bit. When you start seeing all the characters that are in this movie, you almost think, oh man, this isn't gonna go well. Like it's gonna fail because it has too many big names. And what ends up happening is this movie actually works out extremely well. And I say that with an asterisk. So a big asterisk. So realistically, throughout this movie, Matt Damon's character and Casey Affleck's characters are hilarious. It's the most odd couple that there is. And Matt Damon as a whole in this movie, his character is just so out there and just so unique. As opposed to like Casey Affleck's and even like Jack Harlow's character when he was there. It's almost like a trio of like weirdness, more than anything. But it's very intriguing when you start kind of seeing the movie progress and you see like what happens in this robbery and how it just kind of takes a left turn on them and just everything that they have to do to, for better lack of terms, survive and figure out how to get out of this mess. It's phenomenal. And I think more than anything, the commitment that Casey's character and Matt's character did in this movie are just perfect. Like they truly embodied this movie. And even the therapist, Hong, who was in there, it was such a unique role that she played. And yet it wasn't too pushed, it wasn't too in your face. Like she was the perfect character for that therapist role. I was very impressed with just how it's almost the scenes she was in and all the scenes that she was in, it's not like they were super, like detailed or heroic or anything, but you always focused on her. And you always kind of wanted to hear what she said or what was going to be her next thoughts that came out of it. And the same thing with, Matt's character and Casey's character. It was unique. Like this trio was hilarious. And this movie, obviously continues playing on. You see all this like one hiccup after another, after another, after another. And even the stuff that's like completely far-fetched that was happening was still extremely hilarious and just you kind of just go along with it. And in a weird way, it's almost it's not like a buddy cop thing because obviously these guys are criminals, but I guess like a buddy criminal almost situation. But when you start kind of unveiling this movie and seeing everything that's within it, when you start seeing all the corruption that's in it, and when you kind of start seeing like how these guys are going to get out of this situation, it really starts to like unfold like an onion. Like every layer you peel, like you're getting new depth and new, just really neat character development. And I say that to say you go through this whole movie and you go through this whole arc and you're just loving it, every minute of it, until about probably the last like 20 minutes of this movie. Where it just crashes and burn. Like the way that they ended this movie was horrific. In terms of what they could have done and how they could have addressed some of these storylines to close them off in a better way, I felt that's where this movie just completely fell flat. And when you look at it, it was an hour and like 45 minutes. It wasn't a super long movie. It wasn't anything like that. But at certain points it felt like that last 20 minutes just felt long. Um Uncomfortably long. There was a scene near the end when, once both of them jump into a vehicle. I thought that was almost going to be the, kind of like the running off into the sunset, almost like the old cowboys movies where, you see in the westerns where the cowboy just kind of like rides off into the sunset. I almost thought something like that was going to happen, which in turns would have made this movie a little bit more enjoyable. But the way that the movie ended, um, I wasn't a fan of it. And I don't know if that, for me, that truly killed the entire buzz of the movie, because it was so enjoyable until that very last bit and how they ended the movie, where as soon as it ended, you almost are in shock because you're like, it can't be over. Like this, you don't end the movie like this. Like what are they doing? It almost felt like if you budgeted to, create this amazing song and you have like all the beats, you have everything, and then you're left with like $5 to write all the lyrics and you just ran out of money basically. And I don't know if that's what happened or not, but it was, the way they ended it was so abrupt and so blah that it just killed it for me, to be brutally honest. If I had to rate this 1 to 10, I, in my good nature, couldn't give this more than a 5. It just wasn't. It wasn't there, and it wasn't, and it was just because of the ending. If the ending would have been different, this movie easily would have been, 7 or an 8, because the acting was great, the comedy was awesome, the scenes where you were literally thinking, "Oh God, they got him here, like they can't escape." It just kept getting better and better. But with the way that they ended it, just killed it for me, and not the good type of kill it, but like it killed the movie type of killed it. Very, very disappointing in how it ended. But that's just my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts about the movie. Let me know if you guys have seen this. It came out August 9th on Apple TV. It's good for the first, let's go with hour and 20 minutes. You'll enjoy it. That last little bit just crushed it for me. But let me know what you guys think. I always want to hear that. But as always, this is Jorge with Team JVS, and we'll see you next time. Peace.